Something in esports which is a trend that irritates me or just disappoints me, whether it's CSGO, League of Legends, StarCraft 2 even, is players, professional players who say, I just want to win. That's what they'll always say. Oh, all I care about is that trophy. I want to be the champion. I just care about being the best. My goal is to be the best. I just want to win. That's the best way to sum up the gist of it. Now, the reason why this irritates me is because I see it permeated throughout Western culture in a sporting sense. I see it in the NBA, in the NHL, in the NFL. I see pro players who aren't even that good, who don't make much improvement, who don't sacrifice aspects of their game, who haven't put themselves in a position to be the best, parroting these words. And I think part of what it is that when they grow up and they see the people before them who are the legends, they see like whoever it might be, Dan Marino, John Elway, they see Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, they see Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, they see these people, these incredible players who sacrificed everything and worked constantly to improve and be at the peak of their level and gave up almost everything and battled, and really all that was in these guys' minds was trying to win and trying to be the best. They hear the way they talk, and so as with a lot of human behavior, they have this logic of, well, if he talks that way and he was a winner, then I'm trying to play and I'm trying to be good, so I'll talk that way and I'll adopt that mindset. And while the mindset is good, they don't bring with it all the other aspects of it. What they don't realize is that mindset, that philosophy, is the end stage. It's the verbal expression of an actual philosophy of their life, which took place in action, in small decisions that took place every day of their lives, to have a hard practice, to practice with purpose, to give up things to help teammates, to be able to battle, to scout out opponents, to improve your game, to be able to be humble and say, okay, I'm fantastic at this area, but is there a way I can still improve something very basic about my game and tweak up some of the small aspects and plug some of the leaks? And is there an area here where I'm good, but actually I'm good in a way that's abusive, I'm good in a way that's got my risks are too great, and I need to shore up some of my decision making, and I need to be humble and understand that I can be coached by this guy, and I'm not just because I'm the best player, I can't berate this teammate. All the things that went into it, these people haven't studied. They've just heard what's said, and then they're parroting the same things and thinking if they just try, that trying is enough. It's not enough. I mean, I do actually believe, I do accept the premise that these people actually believe it themselves, that they really do believe that their goal is to win, and that when they say their only goal is to be the champion, I really think that in their minds they do think that. But I think that's part of the problem. That's become the illusion, where they think to say that and just to do what they do normally, do a little bit extra, is enough. It's not enough if you want to be that guy who can say that and it can be legitimate in reflection of what your actions are and then your accomplishments later in your career. The actions that these people take do not match up. Like, for example, they might say that they practice hard. Okay, they might practice hard, like the practice might be there, and they might play hard within the practice, but do they do the hard practice? That's a different thing. Those are the things that are difficult to do. In a physical sense, they take a lot of effort out of you. In a mental or an esports sense, maybe they're very draining in the amount of time you have to put in, or the amount of mental effort and concentration on this practice, whereas you could just let that go a bit and relax a bit more and be half in, half out in the practice, and you're there at the practice, you're playing in the practice, maybe you're even succeeding in the practice in a relative sense, you're winning the games or you're doing decently in them, but are you actually applying yourself with purpose? Are you doing the boring practice? Are you doing the practice where all you do is work on the basics that even the beginner learns, and you're just making sure these are refined, these are perfected, these are improved upon, these are maintained at a very high level, not thinking, well, I'm very good and I'll just do that a week before the tournament and then I'll get myself up to shape again? Are you at a top level, and are you maintaining that elite level and then pushing for that extra 1% that might not seem like much in the context of it, but could be the difference that makes you the great player, that makes you win this next match? Are you doing these things? Most of these players are not. There are so many players, when they talk about this concept of playing hard, I know again what they mean. Yes, when the tournament match is live, they play hard. They really want to win this match and they battle to their last piece of energy. There are some players, not all of them, who really do that and yet fail in this respect, because the problem is they play hard but only in the official game. These are the same players. I've heard this story a million times in my esports career. At a tournament, there's a good player, maybe even a very good player. He's just lost a really big match that was close, and all he's telling you is all the stories about what he's going to do. He's saying, oh, well, after this tournament, you don't realize, man, I was so close. I'm going to come back so prepared. I'm going to practice so hard. I'm going to work on this area. I know what my problems are now. I'm going to improve them. Next time I'm going to beat him. I'm going to go all the way. Like, man, you don't understand. But here's the problem. That only exists for most of these players when they're in that mental state.